Storytellers, tell us peace, love.
All right, my name is Butterscotch, and this is actually my first presentation ever. But as we were talking about before, it's so important to step out of our comfort zones. So I'm very nervous, I'm very scared, but I'm doing it, and we're living life, and I'm all about having fun at this moment. So this is a story of my journey, and since I've never done it before, I'm having fun little slides. So back in 1985, September, on a Sunday, I was born in a van, and this van specifically. And since I'm always touring, I guess I decided at birth I was always going to be on the go. Those aren't my parents. I wasn't adopted in some foreign country. It's just an ad. But that was the exact same van that I was born in. So the first question that people usually ask me is, when did you discover you could beatbox? To which I reply, it was the most horrible storm in 1989, and I woke up the next morning after being struck by lightning, and I could beatbox. No, I had to practice. The Sound of Music is actually my favorite movie. I watched it all the time when I was younger. Then during my teenage years, I was in denial. And then actually, now I have it on my computer everywhere I go. If I'm feeling bad, I just put it on. It's awesome. You guys, if you haven't seen it, watch it. So, starting at the very beginning, I come from a musical family. My mom's a piano teacher, so I grew up playing classical piano. And that's where I got my start. And I'm the youngest of 5 kids, and they all played piano and at least one other instrument. So my mom really didn't let us watch TV, so I would just pick up different instruments laying around the house, like trombone, trumpet, clarinet, cello, and just started messing with them and having a lot of fun. And the best thing that my mom let me do is she let me quit piano when I was about 10 years old. I just hated practicing, so I was like, I'm just gonna quit. And then about a year later, I really missed it. And so she said, okay, well, we can try a different teacher. And when I started taking from someone else, I didn't have to stick to the book. She played different pieces, and I excelled a lot faster because I was doing it in my own way, and my mom actually allowed me to quit. So that was the best thing. In high school, junior high, I was a big weirdo. This is me actually laying in the middle of the hallway. I would just lay down all the time. Like my teachers would be like, I always see you horizontal. And I was just protesting life, protesting school. I didn't know who I was exactly. And I got good grades. I was a star athlete. I was class clown. But the ones who are usually with the masks are the ones who are usually hiding something. And I was extremely depressed. I was suicidal. I used to cut my arms all the time. And it was a deep and dark time for me. And luckily for teachers, they kind of got me out of my slump. And then I started going to a performing arts school. And that's where I truly found myself and started writing music. And that really, really saved my life. So I'm so thankful for that school. Then I started beatboxing towards the end of high school, and that was the glue that put everything together. Because I had played guitar, played classical piano, but when I started beatboxing, it was something unique, and fusing everything together just just opened so many doors. So I started doing a lot of competitions. Back in 2005, I was the first women's beatbox champion. And then in 2007, I was the West Coast beatbox champion, beating all guys. And that was a crazy story as well. And that just opened a big network that soon the people from NBC contacted me, actually during the days of MySpace, and they told me they wanted me to audition for the show. So I ended up getting third on America's Got Talent, and it was just a crazy experience from one day, no one knowing who you are, to the next day, millions. And it was broadcasted all over the world, so it was just crazy. I'd walk into a grocery store and they'd be like, "Oh my God, I'm so glad you came out of your shell." I'd be like, "You don't know me." But the most common question I get is what happened after America's Got Talent, because that was almost 10 years ago, well, about 8 years ago. To which they say, "Why aren't you signed? Why aren't you super successful and famous now? Why aren't you eating caviar on the moon? What's wrong with you?" And so, so we go through a lot in life, and I'll let that sink in. And this was my time where I needed to swim with the sharks in the music industry, because there are a lot. I got bitten several times, got money stolen from me. I was around mentors that told me I shouldn't come out, I should stay in the closet, I shouldn't cut my hair, I should get a fake boyfriend. Everything that I wrote had to be a hit, and I was completely miserable. And I went down into the slump again, and I questioned, do I even want to keep on doing this? If I'm just constantly being told what to do all the time. And I just wanted to shave my head and move to Spain. I just wanted to say, forget everything, I don't even care, let me just go run somewhere else with the bulls maybe, I don't care. So the moment that changed my life, I've always been a big believer in the law of attraction. And through a crazy series of events, I had this dream that I met Sade. I knew she was going to be coming to my hometown in Sacramento, and so I guess something just happened in my brain. And so after I saw her perform, I was like, I have to meet her. So I'm a big believer also in synchronicities, and so at the next show, I went to go see her in Oakland. I ran into one of her band members outside the arena, which they never do that before the show. So it's just a crazy series of events that led me to her. And something shifted in my brain that I could literally manifest anything I wanted to, because people don't just meet Sade. Celebrities don't just meet Sade. And here I was standing right in front of her. Actually, I met her in Austin and I was line dancing with her. It was crazy. But that was the moment where something shifted, wow, I can really create the way that I'm living. And so a whole bunch of things started to happen. I met up with agents. And I started touring around the world. I went to Germany, a lot of places in Europe, went to Hong Kong, and I performed in front of Quincy Jones and performed with Sergio Mendes, and it was amazing. But at the same time that the things started coming together, they also started to fall apart. My dad, who's my best friend, who used to travel with me, he passed away. He was in a car accident, and then the next 3 years he was bedridden and paralyzed, and it was just horrible, and it tore the family apart, and it caused a lot of disruption in my life. But he always was there for me 150%, and so I had to keep going. And that year was the year of transition, because that was the first time that I had encountered death so close. But when I was at his memorial, and it's heavy, but seeing his body just made me realize that wasn't him. It wasn't him. His energy is still here. So that's how I've learned to cope with it, because I know he's still here with me. He's here right now. So, and that year was a crazy year because I started letting go of everything. I stopped working with the management. I broke up with the relationship that I was in, and then it was perfect timing to go to Hatch. And so I know there's a few of you out there. And that was just perfect timing, because that was the first conference that I'd ever been to, and they're just like entrepreneurs, philanthropists, earth shakers, mind blowers, and every presentation that I watched was just like, wow, like you invented Siri, wow, that's, wow. So I was like, man, I maybe can't do that, but I can develop what's in here. And so I was so inspired. I went back to LA, and LA is the place of music, entertainment, everything. And I had this meeting where I was showing some of my music, and the guy who I was meeting with said, "No, don't release your music. It's not good enough." Blah 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 blah. And I was like, "Okay, okay." And I had heard that several times before, but I was just like, "No." If you didn't hear me the first time, no. So I was just like, you know what? I'm going to do what feels good to me. And that's when I really started to pay attention to my personal emotional guidance system, which I don't know if you guys are familiar with Abraham Hicks and some of those things. And I was like, okay, not putting out my music feels bad. Putting out my music feels good. What should I do with my life? I'm now getting older, and I want to be happy in my life. So this is a quote from Wayne Dyer: "If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change." So I started to really delve into Wayne Dyer, Deepak Chopra, Abraham Hicks, and I just started to just educate myself on how I could live the best life possible. And when I would be watching his presentations or any of their shows, it was great, but everyone in the audience was always 50 plus, which is fine. That's great. I love people of all ages. But the thing was, I wish that I knew these things when I was younger. So now when I go to schools, I'll kind of wiggle my way in through like, I'm going to teach them about beatboxing, yeah. But then I'm like, no, I'm going to inspire you to live a happy life, So that's what I think back then, right after America's Got Talent, I didn't know what my purpose was. And I was talented. I hate saying that, but okay, but I didn't know what my purpose was. So I wrote this song called Accept Who I Am that tells my story. And I decided I was going to raise a Kickstarter with one of the other Hatch members, Mary John Frank, who's a director and choreographer. And we made this awesome video. And just doing the campaign was an amazing experience because I just received so much support. And I also learned a lot about just, marketing within social media and everything, just being on top of everything. And so we have a lot of tolerance, but what we need is acceptance, starting with ourselves. And that's one of my alter egos, or non-alter ego, my non-ego, Butterscotch. So while we were making this video, it was an intense 2 months of preparation, and the director was just getting everything possible out of me. And so I had to delve deep into my past and when I was suicidal. And this was just the rehearsals that we had where I kind of fell back. When an actor is preparing for a role that's, like what Heath Ledger went through. Like I kind of, not to that degree, but like I felt really dark. And so every night I was just meditating and lighting incense, which is good to do anyway, but I was just like, I need to get this energy out. But it was such a remembrance of what I'd been through, but it also made me really grateful for where I am today. And at the end, worked with an awesome crew. We raised $18,000, and it was an amazing experience to be a part of. And so right now in my life, I'm just trying to have fun, because for so long, I was heavily involved in basketball and soccer, and I was super serious, very competitive. I always wanted to win, and I forgot how to enjoy life. And I guess forgetting, I never knew how to enjoy life. And I just want to emote goodness all the time and just bring the best that I can, through my soul to everyone. And just because, like, a smile can go a long way. And I should go back to that and say that. Osho, I also love, and seriousness is disease. And nothing has to be serious in life. Like, nothing has to be serious. We can all cure it with being happy and having fun. Oh no, my time's up. Okay, well, we're done. Okay. So this is my last thing. To all those who rain on your parade, stab them with your umbrella of kindness and make them bleed rainbows and butterflies until they smile.